Hey there, my name is Przemek, and today I got for you a review of this compilation, Grey Shadows of the Universe 2. Grey Shadows of the Universe 2 is in a way a sequel or a follow-up to the 1999 Grey Shadow of the Universe tape compilation. It was one of the first Fluttering Dragon releases with an excellent lineup like MZ412, Lastmore, Monte Casazza or Daniel Menche, to name a few. But we also must be aware that the tape didn't contain new unreleased tracks, but it was kind of a promotional vessel for albums from the Dark Vinyl and Side Effects labels, which Fluttering Dragon distributed in Poland at the time. And yeah, like for example, MZ412 track came from Marsch durch Stimme or Malfighter, I don't remember exactly. I haven't checked, I forgot. Lastmore's track appeared on the classic The Place Where the Black Stars Hang. Yeah, there was also a track by Coma Virus, a project created by Paul Haslinger, formerly of Tangerine Dream and later a famous Hollywood soundtrack composer. He made, for example, a soundtrack for one of my favorite TV shows ever, Halt and Catch Fire. And despite the fact that all those were previously known tracks, I think that cassette still provided an interesting compendium of knowledge about post-industrial music, especially when such music wasn't yet so easily and widely accessible, at least in Poland. And yeah, 26 years later, we get Grey Shadows of the Universe 2. Even in cinema, such sequels are rare. Off the top of my head, Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick, or Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049 come to mind, but it was worth waiting, I think. First of all, the release looks really awesome. Just look, there's this cardboard box. Then inside we have a box with two tapes. It's a really unusual box. I haven't seen such a box for a tape never in my life. It looks like this, and the tapes, as you can see, also looks very cool. This is the first one. Oh, sorry, this is the second one actually, and this is the first one. And a part of that we also have, like always, a sticker and the old school booklet, where on each page we have all the projects are presented. And yeah, and this time we also we have previously unreleased tracks from artists, in most cases at least, from artists who have either already released or I assume will release their albums on Fluttering Dragon. And while they may not be the dark ambient death industrial artists or projects you have all heard of already, because there's a lot of names even I haven't heard of. I have no doubt that each of them deserves greater and wider recognition. And well, let's just discuss each artist in turn, of course. a significant number of projects have already released full-length albums on Fluttering Dragon, and I've already discussed them on the channel. So yeah, let's begin with side A of the first cassette. On side A we have three of 4 tracks are by the projects you have already heard about if you watch my channel on a regular basis. The first one is Musmarken from Sweden. It kicks things off with the track Arctic Ceremony. This is the project by the Swedish musician Henrik Fixio, who has already released the cassette I was discussing on the channel, like I said, Skogspalmer, and he offers a trance-like ambient with an extremely monotonous drone and melancholic guitar, along with a certain organic depth, probably generated by subtle field recordings. And this is the kind of composition that if you get into it enough could even last half an hour without significant changes throughout its length, and it still would manage to pull it off. The second one is Maper with the track Malpeno. This is a completely new name for me. This is a Swedish duo by Henrik Meyerkort, whose album we have reviewed before, but I think on the blog by Peter Marks. And the second member is Peter Josefsson, and as it turns out, they have already released several full-length albums. It's a dark ambient again, but with a more epic feel, where atmospheric drones intertwine with slightly harsher electronics and a sequence almost reminiscent of cosmic music, maybe. But I also have to say this track has a certain vibe that reminds me of Mark Morgan's Fallout 2 soundtrack, especially the Gold Slouch theme, the theme from Reading town. And this track, I mentioned about this track in my list of favorite video game soundtracks. It is in itself a cover of the theme from the Stand TV series, and this Malpino isn't a cover, obviously, but I hear some common elements in the background. But all in all, it is a very cool track. Number 3 is Eterna Essentia. They have released a remarkable album on Fluttering Dragon, I think in March. Dark ambient enhanced with the elegiac melody of the highest order. What more can I say? A short but complete track without a single unnecessary note. And number 4 is Temesras and the track At the End of the Path. Which, surprise, I have also discussed on the channel before. I mean the project, not the track. And I'm not sure if this track, At the End of the Path, isn't the best I have heard from this musician. It has something in common with Musmarken, a monotonous trance-like and addictive drone, some beautiful melodies on top of this, and eventually all this transforms into a Lastmordian vortex. Very cool track about a gloomy hidden path that leads into the darkness, as the booklet says. The B-side of the first tape is Sweden 4 times and Denmark once. We begin with Manifesto, a project by Magnus Zetterberg, and it's an amalgam of dark ambient and death industrial, opening with a somber piano and a sample of some kind of speech, and a synth melody appears somewhere in there also, but the whole thing is as cold as it is emotional. The second one is Höxmyr, the death industrial project by Thomas Östergaards. I reviewed the project's album released last year in Fluttering Dragon, and Thomas' apocalyptic vision of the world can be very evocative, and this track, Dead Stora of Ascended, is no different. You know, gray spaces, smoke and ash, and factories emitting pollution so much that I practically have no air to breathe. It's a stifling death, dark ambient / death industrial. Ditch State and the track Riches. And again, I have already reviewed it. It's a rhythmic industrial, but with a structure that is as close to a traditional, I would say, song as possible, so to speak. You know, Per Alund and Henrik Sfexio offer even more of the same, like on the Purge album. And if you liked that album, you will like this track as well. Next up is Burial Moon, a project I know nothing about, and according to what's written here, Burial Moon is inspired by the novel Blood Meridian. It's a Pierre B. Jonsson project, and the song The Snake Became a Noose is, like I said, inspired by Blood Meridian, Cormac McCarthy's excellent novel. And if you've read it, you know that the level of nihilism that McCarthy achieved there was, you know, beyond any limits. It's off the charts, I would say. Burial Moon offers an epic yet incredibly depressing landscape of a devastated world, a very dense dark ambient, somewhat in the style of projects like, I don't know, like Terra Sancta for that matter. The last one on the first tape is Danish band Diable Pact, of which I won't say much, as it's a track that actually appeared on the cassette I have reviewed. I just say it again, check out this project, really, because it's completely different and original from the music I have been listening to lately. And check out what I'm talking about in the latest Fluttering Dragon feature. I'll leave a link in the description of this video. This, like I said, this is the track from their first tape. The track is called Pact. The second tape is also very Swedish, but noticeably noisier and more death industrial oriented. It opens with analphabetism and the track Den tredje Feberdrammen. Analphabetism is a rather established project on the death industrial scene. Fredrik Dürfeld is behind this name and begins this track quite, I would say, innocently with a low murmur of darkness, but some glitches and crackles constantly creep across this oral canvas. It's a music border on the border between dark ambient and laboriously creeping death industrial, inviting you to participate in the second part of this ritual. After that comes Necrotiker with the track Death Sculpture Transference. It's a project by J. Underberg and A. Martinson, although in A. Martinson case it says disturbance. So I wonder if he or she wasn't just disturbing the musician while making this track. Well, who knows? 3 cassettes for Death in Venice. A few days ago the album was released on Fluttering Dragon, and dark ambient / death industrial, again dark as Scandinavian forest and unsettling as a nightmare you can't wake up from. But there's also a lot of going on here, you know. The imagination of the musician is very, very vast, and the whole thing is quite illustrative, I would say. Next one is A Pathetic Atrophy with the track For Humanity. This time it's a Norwegian project for a change. The two previous ones were Swedish, of course, and A Pathetic Atrophy is Norwegian. And here we are at the intersection of dark ambient, death industrial, and power electronics. We're not going completely aggressive yet, but the high-pitched noises, distorted vocals, and industrial loops make things increasingly stuffy and oppressive, and we already can forget about the dark but atmospheric soundscapes from the first cassette. With the following track, we are coming back to Sweden. It's a Nackskott with the track II-TV. This is the artist completely unknown to me, but what he does is quite good, I have to say. It's a very dense piece, like a recording of some hellish machinery working, a bit rusty but still powerful and majestic. And the last one is on side A of the second cassette is Bursted Spleen Burial. It's quite a pretty cool name, I would say. The track is called Sekushinbutsu. I think it's a Japanese word that means I don't know what. Buried Spleen Burial describes his music as big industrial drones combined with harsh frequencies, biological terror executed in violent manners. It's basically, in my opinion, a minimal death industrial, like kind of follow-up to the previous track by Nackskott, but this time this machine is dying, it's running out of energy or fuel, and with the final effort of mechanical willpower it tries to return to a full working order, but ultimately it dies, leaving nothing but a pile of rusty iron. But overall it's a really fantastic track, Bursted Spleen Burial. And side B of the second cassette opens with Ilurbeda Sacrum, a Spanish project. Surprise, surprise. The only one outside of Scandinavia, I think, besides Temesras, and the only one from, let's say, warm countries. At first I thought it would be some kind of dark folk, because Ilurbeda reminds me of Portuguese, no Portuguese, Puerto Rican project Falgar, who recorded an entire album dedicated to Ilurbeda. I think it was in 2023 or 2024. But no. It's a noisy wall of sound with machine industrial loops. It's not extreme noise, of course, but it's the harshest offering on the compilation so far, which is interesting because conceptually the project departs from typical noise or power electronics concepts. Let me read you. Ilurbeda's Sacrum is inspired by the presence of the pre-Roman Lusitanians in the peninsula's mountains and valleys, where they engaged in various demanding activities, particularly in gold mining in remote and hard-to-reach locations, in contrast with the gentler forms of the surrounding cliffs and valleys. Ilurbeda is a divinity associated with harsh and brutal mining activities, with only a few devotion altars found scattered in mountainous territories in the western Iberian interior. This text is longer, but I think this is the general idea behind this project, which is, let's be honest, very unusual and original for such a, well, let's say, noisy track. But I almost forgot, towards the end of this track, an ethnic Iberian folk motif actually emerges from this noise magma, adding a bit of spice to the whole thing. And I have to say, this is a very interesting composition, and I am very curious about the full album. I hope I'll get one someday. Another we have Mjöldriga, aka Fredrik Dürfeld and Thomas Östergaards, and the track Ötter Giftig Bröt. A new album has just been released on Fluttering Dragon. I haven't heard it yet. And this track on this compilation is a pulsating death industrial with a touch of power electronics that effectively builds an atmosphere of menace, and it's cold yet intriguing, but also demonstrating a certain, I don't know how to say it, ease and even maybe a grace with which both musicians navigate this genre. Yeah. Next one is Ideal Father, and the track Never Have Someone Like Him in Your Life. It's a Swedish project that one of the previous artists, I don't remember which one it was, I think it was Necrotiker, has introduced their work to the world through the Death in Venice label, and again noise death industrial, but with a certain atmospheric vibe. Also like the structure of this track were unsettling and bizarre, but quieter passages filled with some strange voices are interrupted by bursts of noise. It's again very cool, very, very evocative composition. And then we have Hex of Talma with Ended Hjörna. It's Fredrik Dürfeld for the third time after Analfabetism and Mjöldriga, this time in collaboration with Polish musician Tomasz Borowski. And this track slithers like a snake searching for a prey somewhere on a steamy and humid jungle. Of course, that's just my impression, because this death industrial vibe is present here all the time. And finally, Sömnbrist with the track L'appel du vide. Sombrists describe his music on Bandcamp as horrific black noise from Sweden, and it's a epic industrial symphony, a hymn to a dying world, and you have to listen to it loud. Really, really, it's a great finale of this really great compilation with virtually no weak points, in my opinion. I also like the well thought out structure and nature, where the whole thing has a certain narrative, starting with ambient, more atmospheric passages and ending with oppressive yet never mindless noise or black noise. I highly recommend it. Grey Shadows of the Universe Part 2. Yeah. Okay, that would be it for today. Thanks for watching and see you soon.